Go ahead.
You are listening to the VAHOMA podcast. Be sure to subscribe.
Thank you. Ready to go?
Sure.
Hi, and welcome to the VAHOMA podcast, episode 30. I'm Tim Abbott. With me is
30.
Andrew Smith,
Hello.
Brett Phillips, a.k.a. Bert,
How's it going?
and Chris Mason.
Hello, hello.
It's the first time all four of us have been together in probably a year
Has it been that long?
in person. It's been a while. Either you missed or Brett missed, or,
Or pretty much you and Brett. I mean,
the
Stuff
staple
happens.
has always been here. But, Anyways, on this episode, we'll basically be talking about what we've been playing over the last month, which my list will be extremely short. Talk about some games that are coming out this year, our thoughts on them. Some games got release dates, such as Red Dead, which is going to include a Battle Royale mode. So we'll talk about that and the Battle Royale craze that's coming along and how everyone's got one now and the new ones are coming out. And then just maybe some movie news as far as like video game movies. Like we are excited about a certain one getting ready to come out. If it's going to be the one that can break the curse or not, we'll see. But anyways, so on this one, we'll just start with what we've been playing. Brett, what you got for me?
Not a whole lot. I decided to take the month of February and stop playing Assassin's Creed Origins. And my plan was to finish some games that I hadn't finished yet. I was hoping to finish 3, and I actually didn't finish any because I got to the final boss in one of them, which Earthlock Festival of Magic.
I was going to say it has to be Earthlock because that's the one I see you on.
Yeah, I was trying to get through that, and I got to the final boss, fought him one time, and it was like, you suck. And I actually haven't been on it at all this week to go back and try and beat him, but yeah, so I've been playing Earthlock Festival of Magic, trying to finish that. It's actually a pretty fun game for an indie game. I actually kind of enjoyed it. And for Valentine's Day, my wife got me Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. So we've been playing that, and I'm playing that a lot. She's just as good as me at Jeopardy.
You got Agent M over there giving you the shrug, like, what the heck? She wants to play too.
Wow, that face.
She's
right now.
She's just as good as me at Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune, she's not very good at Wheel of Fortune compared to me. I'm a lot better at Wheel of Fortune than she is.
I like to buy an R.
But anyway, so I also, because of Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, created her a gamer tag.
What?
Wow.
So she has 300 gamer score, and her tag is still it's only silver. It's probably gonna stay that way, but she has her own gamer tag now.
You gotta give her some friends. You gotta let us know.
And then
At some point what hers is. Maybe not on the podcast, so she doesn't get stalked by
yeah,
the
yeah.
20-something listeners we have.
We'll know who you are.
I told her last night. I was watching somebody stream. I can't even remember what they were streaming. Sea of Thieves 2, the beta.
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, Sea of Thieves.
I was like, Sea of Thieves too. Like, the sequel's already out.
The first one?
Yeah, they had to scramble. The first one was so bad they had to scramble and make a new one. But no.
Actually, it's getting a lot of good reviews.
So I was
Praise.
watching a stream of the beta and Sea of Thieves beta, and then I backed out of the guy's feed, and it was on the menu, and it just happened to highlight this girl. I don't know what she was playing. I think it was Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale. And I was like, there you go, hon. You could be a stay-at-home professional streamer. And she goes, people do that? I was like, yeah, they...
I tried that. It didn't go well. I was like, I could get set up, get Tim have his own, get my logo.
So,
people to pay.
But no,
to
anyway.
play.
So, I've been playing Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy.
It's a grind.
Been playing Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Been playing...
Get 10 hours straight. I've seen people doing that. I'm like, I don't know if I could play 10 hours straight on some of that stuff.
Been playing Earthlock, Festival of Magic. Still playing Formula 1. Probably going to be playing that until next year's release comes out, because I'm probably going to skip this year's release.
You play Halo Wars 2 every once in a while.
I tried that, and the last three
Update
times...
Wars?
Last 3 times I tried that, it wouldn't let me stay in a game with you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, the servers are terrible for it.
Literally, the last time we tried playing, when you guys were already playing, I literally just wanted to throw my controller out the window, and the Xbox too. But anyway, now I really haven't been. Like I said, I wanted to finish 3 games. I wanted to finish.
It's kind of like when we used to play zombies, and we'd make it to wave 30, and then somebody lag out. You're
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
We've gotten this far.
And it's not equipped so you could jump back in. It's like once you're out, you're out.
I would also like to point out that for the month of February, on my friends list, I had the most gamer score for the month of February.
Okay, you're talking that smack, because you do realize what H&M's library looks like, because that might be a challenge.
Every other month after this, it's
H&M
probably
and
not...
Chris will destroy
Oh,
you.
yeah, for sure.
The one Xbox game I've been playing is early access and doesn't have achievements.
But Fortnite Battle Royale doesn't have achievements or anything like that.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Which I don't know if you've tried it in the last couple of weeks, but they've updated Fortnite to what is an H&M? Season 3, so it's Chinese New Year.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's got a new secondary kind of thing going on where you can get extra weapons and characters and themed stuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna download it and check it out. I don't think I've downloaded it yet, but I'll check it out.
It's free.
Yeah,
So.
might as well. I probably won't get
The Battle
for
Royale part is
some.
free.
Yeah.
The Battle Royale mode is free.
Yeah, Battle Royale is free.
Yes. But anyway, that's all I got. Oh, and I've been playing this nice. I've been playing this.
Hold on.
I've been playing this game I found on my phone. Free to download, called Motorsport Manager 2. I'm actually somewhat... no.
He was playing it just a second ago.
I actually was playing it right before we started.
I mean, I have Plants vs. Zombies 2 on my phone, so...
Motorsport Manager 2 is not free. You have to pay for that one. But Motorsport Manager is free on Android. And I am strangely addicted to this game. Strangely addicted.
Okay.
You start a race team from the bottom, and you work your way up through different tiers. And I won $4 million last night, or yesterday afternoon, or something like that, when I won the first championship. So, yeah, I'm strangely addicted to this game. Check it out. Thank me later. Thank me later.
Andrew, what you got for me?
Nothing too much. PUBG as usual. Play a little bit of Fortnite. Still kind of weird to get used to. The only thing that's weird about the game is if you get a sniper rifle, the bullet drop is so severe, and the bullets are so slow compared to PUBG, so it's hard to figure out. Bayonetta 1 on the Switch. I love my Switch so much. It's because I've been hearing it's been a year, and it's I'm playing that thing more than my Xbox or PS4, because most of the time I'll play pick it up in Bayonetta, I'll go up to a boss, beat a boss, put it down, which is probably 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever. And I'm already 6 hours into that game, and I don't remember playing a straight amount
Terry
of time
wants
with
to
it.
Switch very badly.
Pretty nice. I don't know how destructive he is on electronics.
Not too destructive, but the games themselves, I think he wants to play Splatoon. He watches a lot of YouTube videos, and they have a lot of advertisements on the YouTube Kids. They have a lot of advertisements for Mario games and for whatever one, Arms, I think it is, that is kind of
Yeah,
a
the
boxing game.
punching one.
He thinks they're cool.
Oh, I did play Mario. It's been that long since I've been here.
It's been a while since you've been on the podcast.
Well, I have to think way back. I already have
We did skip 3 months.
30 hours of Skyrim on the Switch, if that tells you anything. It's 8 of that was just on holiday break. But
You have as many hours on Skyrim on the Switch as I did on Skyrim total. I only got like 32.
Well, most people
hours
just
into
get a
that
game on one system, and they play it. And they don't play it on multiple systems.
I have a problem. Because like, oh, I like it on this thing over here, but what else?
Tarkov.
Yeah, Tarkov. I was gonna get to that. I was just making sure I didn't forget anything.
Okay.
No. But yeah, Bayonetta. So I'm kind of excited to play Bayonetta 2 because that was locked on the Wii U, which I'm kind of glad because they're like re-releasing all the Wii U games on Switch, which was kind of nice. But the only other thing is Escape from Tarkov. And I'm just curious to see what you know so far about it.
I know nothing about the game. I've watched Shroud play it, but I always come in mid-match, and I don't know what he's doing. Like, him and his buddy are walking around. So.
It's a very hardcore shooter in that it tries to be really realistic, and basically the premise is you have your guns that you like.
Is this on PC?
Yeah. You have the guns you like, you go out into a match. The object is to get weapons, get loot, do like small quests, like nothing major, like collect these things, then get back, sell all that stuff into that gameplay loop. But another big thing is that basically anything you could do to a gun, you can do in this game. There's a guy called Cotton. He had a video on YouTube. He has 6 scopes on one gun. Like one here, like a normal like ACOG. Then there's a way to mount another sight on top of that. You can also have canted sights on the side. So it's like, have like scopes over here. You have scopes over there. And then there's like 4 different lasers that are on it. But it's like really in depth. Like you do like different barrel lengths. They have different ammo types in the game that do different damage and different armor penetration. But I kind of like compare it to like the feeling of like PUBG, except like 50 times more because sound is like even more important because like the movement, like when you're moving, you're like pack rumbles and like going through bushes, you'll hear bushes like move or whatever. And that was pretty fun. Then you have to like manually reload ammo into your magazine and do it.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. It's very niche, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I suck at it too. Because you have to like really slow down because they give you pretty much like an hour like in the raid or whatever in like the area, and you can't just go like running around because there's AI that spawns in also, and those AIs are no joke because they're like for a while they were like pretty much aimbotting sometimes, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next, Chris, because mine's pretty short.
Yeah.
I have played a little game called PUBG.
Don't know what
Clipped 400 hours on PC now. Yeah, though it's interesting now that like with death cam and stuff along those lines in there is seeing how I've been killed by cheaters more than I realized before. And the fact of like on the new map, Jumping Hacienda, which is like the school on the new map, and this guy had a Car 98, and I was on the second level, and he was on the bottom level, and I watched him turn and hit me in the head like that. And I was like, "That's an aimbot. There's no way you can't pull that shot
Shroud.
off.
You aren't Dr. Disrespect. You're not going to pull that off."
I was like, you can't. No, I was like, you locked onto my head instantly. Like it was like it felt like the gun pulled it for him. And we had another one where we were driving by, and there's these 2 guys like on the death cam. They were like doing like the side by side, like in front of each other, like goofing around, and we were driving by them. And this guy with a Car 98 hip firing it. As we drove by, he shot his buddy in the back of the head, which was really funny because it was tracking, but we kind of drove in front, like crossed in front, so it pulled with them, and so when he fired, it shot his buddy in the back of the head. Mm-hmm. But as we were going, he hit me in the back of the head, and then my buddy Justin in the back of the head in back-to-back shots without scoping in.
Yeah, that's not.
I was
possible.
Like, that's not with a Car 98. No, I was like, I don't care how good you think you are, you're not going to hit a moving vehicle.
Yeah.
Back-to-back headshots, like no. So seeing I don't know how much like. You're seeing of cheaters have been in that game, but it's like
I think it's like recently it's been a lot more for some reason.
There's a lot more. I think they said they banned like 1 million people just in January.
Yeah.
Now that they've updated their banning software and stuff along those lines, but I had a guy hit me with a crossbow in the head from, and I was in Georgia Pole and he was in like Zarky.
Yeah, you've told me about that one.
It's like, dude hit me in the head with a crossbow bolt through buildings.
Shouldn't happen.
I was like, okay, well, so I think it's
Maybe
either
it was
it's
Chuck
like
Norris.
I'm not used to seeing it, or like because of death cam, I'm seeing it more now or paying attention to it more now.
Well, I think it's kind of like evident, like when every once in a while you get sniped in the head, it's like, oh, that guy's probably pretty good. But most of the time, like there's a little exchange that goes on before you die, so you know,
Yeah,
this guy's not aimbotting or anything.
Yeah. So I played that, and then during Steam sale for Year of the Dog for Chinese New Year,
That's right.
they did a Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 combo pack. Like both games were on sale for $3. So I picked them up on PC just the heck, and my buddies had never played them before. So I played
Nice.
the Dark Carnival mission recently.
I saw you streaming it one night.
Yeah, it was like just because we wanted to try it, and had a nice locked 144 frames. That was really nice because I get 60 in everything else I play.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have bought and installed Hunt Showdown, but I have not played it yet because the one night I went to play it, when it came out of early access, or it came to early access in Steam, the servers were a piece of junk, and so I couldn't get a chance to play it. But Hunt Showdown is basically where it's either you or you can go in as a team of 2, and you're given a mission of you have to go and track down a monster of some kind, a spider, or there's like some creature guy thing that you can go and fight. And so you have to track it down and find it. When you kill him, you can then take the bounty, and then you have to escape with the bounty. But at the same time, there's other teams on the map with you, and they have the same goal of kill the monster, get the bounty.
Sounds like
So-
Division.
Then there's other NPCs that come out and get you too.
So if you get killed, or if you get the bounty, then the other teams know where you're at, and so then they can come after you. And so you have to try and escape while also fending off other people coming after you. And when you die, you lose your character. So anytime you upgrade that character and
You have
everything,
to
if you
recruit
die, you have
a
to
new
you
person.
recruit new people. And because they're dead, they're dead. So it's an interesting concept. It's
I
being-
love the scheme of the look
Yeah.
of the game. It's old
it
West.
looks great. It's old West style kind of thing, and that it's made by Crytek, so you know
So
it's
it
going to
looks
look
good.
stupid gorgeous on. So haven't had a chance to really play that. I've seen people playing it, so I'm interested to see. Like to get in and try it, but I just haven't had a chance yet. But I do own it, so
The one thing I like about the game is that it's like I don't think they really say anything about the lore of the game. It looks like an alternative, like Wild West type thing.
yeah.
They have like lever action rifles, but on the butt stock of the rifle, there's a blade right there, and there's like a blade on the lever action, and there's an old like pistol, like not the kind of like modern revolvers that have the cylinder that moves around, but there's like the old style where you have to like manually unload each one. It's just a chain revolver that looks pretty cool, but yeah, I like the look of it.
So I'm interested to see where that game goes and
Has
and
like
try.
a horror vibe to it because like the enemies that are like spawn on the map are like
Very scary, like the zombies type thing on the map.
yeah.
And then my buddy randomly decided to sell his PS4, so I bought it off of him for $100, and just so I can have it streaming PS4. So for the exclusive, like God of War comes out this month,
I gotta get to that point in my life, Tim.
and
I reached Tim Abbott's spot.
yeah.
Right
Like,
there.
oh,
Well, he was like, I'm thinking about selling my PS4. He's like, I don't know what I'll give for it. And I was like, I'll give you $100. And he went, okay. So I own 2 PS4s now. And there's 3 Xboxes in my house.
3. They just had 2.
Oh, one in the living room, one in my office, and one in my theater room. Because, yes, I have a theater room.
Like I said, they're goals. Okay. Goals.
So
I
I
think
bought...
he said it's excessive that I have 2 Switch docks, but
Yeah.
3 Xboxes.
Yeah. Well, it's like one thing is like, cause since I streamed a Mixer, the idea of streaming a PS4 exclusive on Mixer I kind of find funny, and not many people would do. It was pretty. I tested it by playing
Corner of the market.
Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. I did like the first mission for the first Uncharted, and so if you searched Uncharted Nathan Drake's Fortune
You were the
kind of thing,
only
I was
one.
the only person streaming it on Mixer.
Nice.
But I also thought it was funny is that if you go to the dashboard, you know how usually it says like I'm streaming PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds, or it says what game I'm playing. That one was just like broadcasted to Mixer, didn't say the game I was playing.
Really? Really?
I was not going to say a PlayStation exclusive.
It's kind of dumb though.
So if you ever see me just broadcasting to Mixer, I'm playing a PlayStation game. So So if you are interested to see what God of War looks like, Chris, I will be streaming it in a couple weeks when it comes out. So I pre-ordered it. So I know you have feelings about that game.
I'm interested in it.
So, but, so I got a PS4 to do that. So we'll, I'll stream a little bit there too.
I played Monster Hunter.
Oh, you got Monster Hunter. Nice.
That's a crazy addictive game. Like so many systems. There's literally
What do you have it on?
16 PS4.
Okay.
Because I had friends. I didn't know. I
you
know
have
you were
friends.
interested.
Oh, well, it must be nice. It must
I
be
said I have
nice.
friends on
No.
PS4,
You can
okay.
stop right there. You just said it. It must be nice. This goes back to anybody who's ever listened to this podcast knows.
If I would have known you expressed interest, I would
I
have.
did express interest. I own
Is
it on
it-
the Xbox.
Is this the one that you
I
showed
just
us the
got it.
video?
You just
many
got
months
it?
ago?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
What's the one where you have it's the four people versus the one person, and
Evolve.
The horror movie one?
yeah, the horror movie one.
Oh, Friday the 13th.
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, but
that one.
Okay.
It's not that.
All right. Well, then I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, how far have you got on Monster Hunter?
I haven't gotten very far because
We'll transition to what we've been playing. Chris, go ahead.
So I'm playing Monster Hunter on the Xbox One
You
because
create your cat buddy.
Yes, you can have. There's lots of cats. I'm hoping that will entice somebody else to come aboard, because that's the only person that seems to want to play anything with me on the Xbox One.
How are you talking
I'm
about?
just throwing that out there.
What are you talking about?
But it's quickly becoming a game that you need friends for. It's not as individualized. I spent about an hour on it trying to pick which weapon type I liked the best, because there was quite a few choices, and I'm like, kind of like the way the combos rolled with this, but I didn't like the way the combos rolled with that. So I finally, like I said, customized my character to the point where I did the first mission and was going to do the second, but it reminds me of when my first impressions of Fortnite, because when if you guys have not played the PvE version of it, just the PvP, the PvE is very much like, here it is. Like, here is a ton of stuff with no tutorial, just like, here you go, have fun. And I felt like Monster Hunter kind of did the same thing. It was like, there you go. I'm like, there's a lot on this map. It felt like the first time I walked away from Mass Effect. Like, I walked onto the ship, it's like, okay, there's a lot of
Yeah, they just let you go.
And it's just like, okay, I need some direct. I appreciate the free for all, but I'm like, if you don't. So I started watching it on Mixer, just to try to get my bearings straight a little bit more and seeing it. And I'm quickly realizing it's a game that would be awesome with friends, but kind of sucks by yourself. Because I don't particularly like playing with other people, because if I play with other people, then I feel very committed to it. And if I don't perform, I'm like, well, I'm not being very useful. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't. A lot of times late night I don't have my mic plugged in, so because Terry's asleep or something, so it's a little different. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything to anybody, but I don't want to play with them, so I'm trying to figure out how to go on my own, but it's not working the way I was hoping it would work. But since everybody has PS4, PCs, phones, there was once upon a time where we all were on the Xbox One playing in the same party.
I was on my Xbox One the other day.
Other than, I even got PUBG on the Xbox One, and that's just like,
I was on PUBG.
like you don't even come back. I even own the same game, but you don't come back there, and I understand why, because when I look at the two, they're like, the Xbox version is kind of crappy.
Yeah,
it's very difficult. I'm like, it's not a game that I'm going to ever play by myself.
Yeah.
I showed it to a friend of mine the other day just to show him the concept of it. I was like, the concept's cool. I was like, but again, I'm like, I don't like doing this by myself. It's not fun.
The gameplay stuff for PUBG, like, the feel is there on Xbox, but you can tell they're still learning, like, control and, like, movement and stuff. Like, the movement still doesn't feel right. The gunplay still feels a little off. It's very framey at times when a lot of shit's going on. So,
You gotta censor yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to bleep that 23 minutes. Note to self.
It's funny because there's been like 8 times where I've had to consciously like not do that, because you're just like,
my bad. So but it's still a game that, like, the feel's there, but it
No, I watch
compared to
you
PC,
play
it's
on the
completely
PC,
different.
and it's insane the amount of quickness that you guys do. I'm like, I still have to go through every menu, look at every item, see what it is, where is it going to go, what does it do, and
yeah,
I'm still
it just takes from practice.
Yeah, I know, but again, like I said, it's just no fun by yourself.
Yeah.
No.
And Monster Hunter is
No, I'll tell
quickly
you-
becoming that same kind of thing where it's like, you know, I really, really want to like this, and I do like this, but I'm like, the gameplay, once I started playing it, I'm like, I need people here. I'm like, there's no way I could do this by myself. So it's either play with strangers or play by myself. You know, and I'm like, I don't particularly like that, so.
Yeah, the PUBG one on Xbox, like you got to be full auto. Like if you try and use an M16 or anything,
Really?
it's hard. Though.
I think you can do it, Chris. I've gone through like the first 4 like boss monsters by myself.
Well, I probably will go back into it. It's just one of those ones that I'm like hoping somebody else would also would get it, so I'm not alone.
I don't understand why H&M hasn't gotten it. You have a cat partner
There's-
that you can customize.
Yes, and
You
there
have
are
a cap, and whenever they go
they-
in the water, they jump in a little yellow raft, and they like start rowing around real cute.
Maybe he didn't explain it to me well enough, because it sounds like it's the most boring game in the world when he explained it to me, so it didn't seem like I wanted to buy it.
And I may not have, but maybe do like I did, which was go to Mixer and just watch other people play. But
I
that's
think
gonna be the-
H&M, you
a-
would like that game.
It's a hack and slash where you hunt monsters, and you get the drive is to get better gear to hunt the harder monster later. And it's the gameplay. There's a lot of variety in the game types. Like you can either have like a slow, methodical like hammer where you like do a lot of power, and then the one I chose was lance. And what it does is like that's like a little bit like an aerial type combat. You can like jump off as long as you like hit them a couple times. You can jump up and like run around in like in the air.
And
So
there's
there's
like
a lot
more.
of
There's more defensive
variety.
ones like the spears. There's more offensive ones like I would choose a different type if there was somebody with me that could pick me up or heal me or boost me. But I'm like, okay, I can't just go bruiser, you know, straight up in the unless there's other people there with me. So like I like the different varieties of it. But and the graphics look cool.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty game.
monsters are wicked looking too.
Yes.
There's a T-Rex that throws fire. That guy sucks.
Had a nice variety of games I've been playing here lately. We beat Far Cry 4 with H&M.
Oh, nice.
Beat the story, pretty much have done everything. I beat the DLC, Valley of the Yetis, which I found interesting. I for all the repetitiveness that was in Far Cry, I still enjoyed playing that part. That was kind of a separate, you got to keep your weapons, but it was a standalone. It reminded me of like a Borderlands DLC. It was very standalone. It was in the mountains. There was some different weaponry. There was some different enemies. There are Yetis in there, and they're kind of mean, very mean and aggressive. Like they will run and track you down, climb mountains. Like you will not get away. Once you're in the sight of one, you got to go one-on-one with them. Now, if, like I said, I was so overpowered, though, it wasn't too bad of an issue. But the story was pretty good. Basically, there was 2 DLCs in this one. You did certain missions, and then you have a home base, and you have 5 nights. The DLCs basically were 5 nights, and every night there's like 4 or 5 waves attacking your base, and you can make defenses around your base. There's minefields, there's turrets, machine guns, barriers, traps, and there are missions in this area that you can go do that you'll get it for free, or you can just buy it. It's up to you. I did all the missions just for this. I could have bought them because I was maxed out on money, but I went through and did all the missions. It was a lot of fun for having beat the whole game. The ending was a little weak as far as story wise. It's kind of
Talking about the main game.
yeah.
I just got into like the second half of the island. No, I stopped.
And I guess, and part of it's me, just
make it
because
that far.
I put so many hours into it. You know, I'm kind of expecting a very grandiose ending, and it was like, well, I could have beat this like a long time ago, but we didn't. So couldn't expect but so much. But play that, beat the DLC for that. Of course, been playing Update Wars and still having the same fun with that. I still enjoy it. It's just the servers are not as great. Like I said, Bert mentioned it earlier. It's very frustrating when you're playing because it's one of those things that's not a drop-in, drop-out co-op. So if you're playing, you start off, you spend 20, 30, 45 minutes in doing a firefight, which is just how long can you last. Like we used to play zombies, and then somebody lags out. It's like, oh, well, we're done. I mean, it's like all the effort that you've been doing, it's just like, oh, well, you're done because you're about to get overrun. The only thing I will say about Firefight is sometimes it's the quickness. I don't like about Firefight is the quickness at which something like we can be like going strong, hard, and one wave like that. Like we'll have all three. You have, basically you have whatever you call. What do you call it, Agent M?
What are you referring to?
The thing in the middle of Firefight.
Terminus?
Yeah, the terminus, and there's three points on the terminus, that thing, that are healing it, and they're always self-healing. But once those are gone, there's no more healing. So once it's done, it's done, and we will have all three full health, and you got that one wave that will come, and it's like the perfect amount of stuff. And then once it doesn't stop. If you don't kill the wave, the next wave comes. So the problem with Firefight is if you don't kill everything quick enough, then they're piling on top of each other. So when you got heavy air, then heavy land, it's like, okay, I've only got 120 units. There's only so much damage they can do. Plus there's difficulty modifiers, so each wave they get harder and harder. And it's funny because I don't quite understand how when I look at the leaderboards and we see other people have made it like 100 waves. Like we get to, what's our record? 60? 70. We've made it 70. Just Agent M and I. But then when we died in one wave, like hard. and like we were fully stocked, and it was just like, well, we're done. It was just that perfect scenario of enemies. So I've been playing, like I said, Halo Wars, Call of Duty, World War II. Really enjoyed that. Played the campaign. It's a good story, but it's got a lot of history. You're playing the actual battles. Battle of the Bulge. It was one. So you're playing a lot of the actual things from World War II, but it's not just that. There is a story. There are characters in each of these 4 or 5 characters you're playing through each mission with. And there's like a little bit of an overall. It was nice. I mean, it's not something over dramatic, but it was nice and to see these characters. And then you're like, because at the end I was sucked right in. Because at the end I'm like, no, you better not. No, this game cannot end this way. Mm-hmm. And they did exactly what it wasn't. It wasn't like a Final Fantasy where you spent hours and hours and hours and hours with characters. It was I'm invested. I like this guy. I don't like this guy. I like this guy. I want to see what happens. I want to see what's going on. So the campaign was really good. I really like the multiplayer, and it's been a long time since I said that about a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you last time I ever heard you say that about like multiplayer.
It's been a long time because it feels like the old Call of Duty when, hey, everybody at this table was on the Xbox 360, and we were all in the same party, and we were playing Call of Duty.
Calling in nukes.
It was...
you mostly.
It was...
I had about 8 myself. We're like 30.
The maps,
40-something.
The maps remind me of it. The gameplay reminds me of it. Like I said, I don't mind being in last place and only having 4 or 5 kills, but it doesn't happen often. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it hadn't happened often. But when it did, and I'm watching the kill cam, like you guys were talking about, quick scoping, like basically was what happening. I'm like getting sniped. I'm really getting pissed off because I'm getting sniped, but I'm watching the dude aim. He holds his breath, and he got me clear as day. I'm like, it's not a turn around, I'm dead. Turn around, I'm dead. Which I know Call of Duty has sometimes people can be cheaters, but I'm like, it actually made me feel better. I even actually watch the kill cams more than I ever have because I'm actually like, okay, you got skill. I'm like, I can't be mad at somebody because they got a sniper rifle and they're killing me on the other side of the map because they're legit.
Yeah, I mean that's happening. Like we're talking about like death can stuff like on PUBG. I've had sometimes like where what, and then I see the shot and it's like, oh no, that was a legit, really good shot. Like no, it was I can't be mad at that when that was good.
But I've had a lot of fun just because I don't feel overpowered. I don't feel outmatched. I'm starting to memorize the maps a little bit more. I'm enjoying. It's like I say, it's one of the few multiplayer games where I will play by myself. Night after night. If I get home late, I'll put it in and I'll spend for 2 or 3 hours on it level. Because I don't feel like I'm looking forward to unlocking the guns because I want to see them. I want to try them. But I don't feel like I'm getting killed by the same guns, and I'm dying because, like in Black Ops 3, it was like the guns and the skills. I'm like, there's just no. Somebody starting off, I'm like, there's no comparison. I'm like, I can't compete with that. There's no freaking wall running and wall jumping and back, jump packs and crap like that. It's just like it should be. There's tunnels, there's second level story buildings, there's multiple levels like that, but it feels really good. It feels like the old Call of Duty, and I've actually enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to Treyarch's this year, but I have to say, for Sledgehammer, like this was one I really enjoyed.
I did Forgot to say, I did play Black Ops 3 one night. That was pretty interesting. It took us 2 games to get back into the flow, but oh boy. Had one game we had 77 kills between the 3 of us. So we went 77 and 27. That was fun. Sorry, I digress.
And the Nazi zombies mode in it is actually quite fun. We were talking about earlier, nothing like the zombies from before. They are very, very, very realistic.
I mean, David Hasselhoff doesn't show up in...
No, he does not. Ving Rhames, though, is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's one of the playable characters in it. It actually, the Nazi zombies actually has its own story. It has its own level up system, and it actually, you can basically all the weapons that you get, so just say like a Car 98, you will be able to upgrade it to when you pick it up off the wall or you get it out the box, it will have all the attachments that you want. You can customize it. So when you come, if I want it with the scope, I want it with the buttstock or the extra mags. Once I've unlocked them and I've attached them to it, when I get it, it's got all those things on it.
That's pretty cool. There's
a lot more perks, a lot more different perks. They work a little different. It's very run and gun. I told Agent M like the other night, I just did a public match just for fun and joined in with some people that just started, and it was I surprisingly lasted. It was 42 or 43 waves, and I don't know how to do the pack-a-punch. I don't know how to do the Easter eggs. I don't know how to do anything in it, but I was kind of following in suit with them. Just kind of interesting to see how they were running. There's the melee is a shovel. It's a lot stronger than the butt or the knife it was before, and you can upgrade it because there's 2 ways to melee. You can melee one way, which is quick, or you can melee for a one-shot kill, but it takes longer, and depending on how you do it. But it looks, like I was saying, it looks like a Dead Space. The zombies look like Dead Space, and they're all about the jump scares.
So terrifying.
Very terrifying. Like the load screens, the environments are just like, wow. There's no board building. You can't stop them. The map design is very much, you need to go, you need to run, and you need to be able to function and separate. It's not a hunker down, let's do this, make a crawler, you hold one at the window. The gameplay is different. Once you can kind of get past that, especially if you're a zombie person from before, then it's a lot more fun.
I thought it was interesting though when you made the Dead Space comparison, because I remember we looked it up, and the guys from Sledgehammer are from Visceral, who made Dead Space.
Which I had no idea when I made that comment. Like I had no idea, but that makes perfect sense because that's the first thing. I mean, I'm a huge Dead Space fan. Played all of them, beat all of them, and it's the first thing that jumped out of my mind when I looked at the zombies. Was like, wow, this is graphic, this is detailed, this is disturbing. This looks like Dead Space, which is exactly what I thought about when you looked at not just the monsters, but the environments themselves. Just felt like it. Oh, and another cool thing was when you died, when you came back, all your weapons were in a box. And you got 10 seconds to go get it. You lose all your perks, but you could still get your weapons,
small
upgraded
thing
weapons.
Like Dark Souls, you can go back and get your souls or your stuff in this case. That's kind of cool.
So it was just some fun aspects. Again, that's kind of all off on the secondary. I was just kind of enjoying that piece of it. Then, of course, I played Destiny 2.
Wah, wah.
Where do I begin?
Just don't.
Well, Agent M and I played the Crimson Days, not DLC, but the event. And I have to say, I actually enjoyed the Crucible a lot more. I don't mind the Crucible, kind of enjoy it sometimes. But the 2-on-2, without the Trials of Osiris overpowering kind of thing, it's the same, levels don't matter. I think Agent M even enjoyed it. She self-admitted that she enjoyed playing it because we had I guess it was just the way we had her Titaness set up, the way my Warlock is set up, it was just a perfect complement to each other. Like when I die, I leave the Healing Rift. So I might die, but if she stays in my Healing Rift, it gives her just that edge, especially if I can take out one and we do damage on the other, then she can take the other one out, and then by the time that happens, I've come back. There's one heavy ammo on the map instead of the whole map being, the rest of the heavy. So it's one heavy. So basically, it's kind of who can control the heavy. For a lot, that's basically like the focal point. You get pinged on the map, so you can't hide forever. Everybody gets pinged, so it's like a blip. So you'll see where everybody's at. But we did several matches with that, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was kind of a nice segue into What I was hoping was to get something different. That's what the whole thing was. The last DLC was awful. It just was short. It was zero content. We beat it in a day. So we were hoping that with the this change to the Nightfall, they were changing from the time limit to a scoring system. So I was very excited about that because it brings a new aspect in. Because okay, we haven't been able to do the Nightfall. I'm a 340, and the Nightfall's at a 270, but we still can't do it because of the stupid timing of it. And I don't care what anybody says. Timing and timers is not a challenge. It's crap, is what it is. You're forcing me to not enjoy the game. Let me enjoy the game. Let me enjoy the enemies. Let me go kill. If I want to kill every single person, let me kill every single person. Now I understand there are games and there's missions in games where you have a time limit. That's fine. But you don't have an entire game where there's a time limit. And this is one of the big aspects of the game that you've cut off. Again, you've cut off the raid because the matchmaking system to look for partners sucks. I've tried it. I've tried it on the raid. I've tried it on the Nightfall. It's it's non-existent. It doesn't work. So you can't play unless you got people with you. Asian M and I tried the new scoring non-time limit. Yeah, there's no time limit. But it's not the scoring like it was in Destiny 1. What it is there's a 1x multiplier, and every kill you get adds points to it. But your points consistently fall down, like by 6, I think it's, or 4, I can't remember which, but they're consistently going down. But you don't get any extras for headshots. Like when we used to do Challenge of the Elders, we had everything straight, we had everything memorized, what headshots were, there was modifiers that this gave you, grenades gave you, kills that gave you extra points and stuff like that. Nothing like that. It's just straight kills. Disappointing, but okay. Because I was kind of expecting something like the Challenge of the Elders, because that was the last thing that was scoring-wise. So then, once you get to the 20-minute time limit, it goes to 0x. And no kills. There's no time limit, but after 20, once it hit 20, it starts 0x. And every kill it says +0, +0, +0. So we got nothing. And all we could do is watch the score go down.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
it isn't not dumb. Thank you.
That's worse than the time limit.
And it's so frustrating because just like with the time limit before, it's so frustrating to spend 30 minutes. If the time limit's 35 minutes or whatever it is, and to fail, then you get nothing, absolutely nothing. Now I don't mind if all three of, like the Nightfall, all three of you die, you get sent back. Forces you to play a certain way. That I agree with. I'm okay. If we spend an hour playing a mission and the Nightfall and we died, then we died. It sucked, but we died. You knew what you were getting into. But to do the time limit, I'm like, okay, well, but what if you're just learning? What if you're trying to figure it out? What if you didn't have the right weapon set up? Because at different stages you need to try different loadouts. And it just did the same thing. I'm just so frustrated with Destiny 2. Like I said, I've played very little in 2018 other than the Crimson event. And then, like I said, I've been looking forward to this because I felt like it was going to open up another avenue, another part of Destiny 2. And again, Bungie failed. Now, will I go back for the next DLC? Well, yeah, I'll come back for the next DLC. I'll hope for the best, but I expect the worst.
Hopefully it takes more than 4 hours to beat.
Yeah, well, I mean, it feels like Dark Below and House of Wolves was the first 2 DLCs, and they were pretty crappy. They were pretty much nothing. So this feels exactly the same. So I really don't expect anything. The only thing I'm looking forward to is the rumors were, and I've seen several sites, and they had a little bit more confirmation from one page, was that instead of the Taken King is where they stepped it up a notch, and they started giving us a lot more, subsequent content that made something matter. So later this year, the equivalent of the Taken King is supposed to be coming out, a standalone DLC that has to be purchased separately, and it's going to be called the Taken Queen. On top of that,
the expansion pass that you probably already spent, you got give them more money.
Which is they're following the exact same footprints. And the only reason I'm excited about it is because the Taken King is what brought me back.
Yeah, but I don't think it should take an expansion
pack. It shouldn't. I'm not disagreeing with that. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like I said, I'm glad that there's other games out there I've been playing, because when I was going off about Destiny 1, there really wasn't anything else around that I liked that much. If you go back and listen to the podcast, I mean, Chris, where are you playing? Destiny? And then a little bit of that. Destiny. I'm all about Destiny. But since then, since Destiny 2 came out, I'm like, there's a lot of other games that I've enjoyed, and it's the co-ops that I'm enjoying. Far Cry 4, I absolutely loved Far Cry 4, and I am stoked for Far Cry 5, and I'm surprised because it's not a series that I was a part of, but then once I got kind of sucked in, and the things that I've seen on Far Cry 5 are addressing all of the issues. Not really issues, but the things I didn't quite like about Far Cry 4. It's like they called them out and say, we're changing this, we're changing that. And they specifically said everything in Far Cry 5 is going to be co-op.
Nice.
Your characters will be customizable because they want you to play multiplayer with other people. There'll be no more bell towers. It's going to be a real-time. They said basically what will happen is you'll walk around, and as it encourages the exploration. So as you can see a bear crossing sign, that's what's going to queue up on your map that there are bears in that area. Not just an information download dump. Here's you climb the tower. Here's all the missions. Here's everything on this side. They're going to encourage you. You want to see what's over there?
You have to go look for
Gotta go look. You want to see what's over here? Gotta go look. So kind of that that RPG
So it's a
Skyrim.
Chris game.
Yeah, very much a Chris game.
Oh, what's over here? But the mission says go that way.
Yes, so we're going this
there's
way.
stuff over there.
That is exactly in Borderlands. That was my philosophy. I don't know how many times Agent M would say, "Chris, if the arrow's at the top of the map, I'm going this way." Then
Going to the
we
bottom.
have to explore every inch of this section of map before we move to the next. Excuse me. So, like I said, Far Cry 5, I'm excited for. There's a lot more outside of that. I'm not as angry with Destiny because there's a whole lot more out there for me. I would be so off right now if that was it. But there's a lot more out there. I reserved the gold edition of Far Cry 5, which gives me the season pass, which I kind of wanted. It says it also includes Far Cry 3.
Nice.
It's the full version. I was like, okay, I don't have Far Cry 3, so
That's a good one.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. Plus, I had like 25. I had to buy a new dryer the other day, so I got like $30 in Best Buy points and credits. So I was like added to it. So plus I'm on the Gamers Club, so I was like, why not? That's going to be something I'm going to enjoy playing. There's a lot more vehicles, a lot more weapons. The vehicles are more customizable. There was lots of land vehicles, but the only air vehicle you had was a little gyrocopter.
Yeah, kind of like. Are you still talking about Far Cry 4?
Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
In Far Cry 5, they're going to say you can actually fly planes, fighter pilots, and full-fledged battle helicopters.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I was like, you're talking to me. You're speaking my language. And they basically, it also said it's going to plop you down in the game, and you get to pick how the story goes. So basically there's 5 semi-bosses to get to the main boss. And each region has its own boss.
The campaign's co-op, correct?
Yes, it says everything in the campaign is co-op, unlike in Far Cry 4, where the main campaign missions were single player. And it's drop-in, drop-out co-op, which, nice. And it says basically when you
How many players can you do?
I think up to 4.
Up to 4?
Up to 4?
I think, but I can't swear to it. I think it was 4. Look it up.
That, Andrew.
But it was. It says that there's, like I say, there's
Without
5.
even more excited.
Yeah, there's 5 mini bosses, and each boss controls an area. So once you start going after this guy over here, and he's ticked off enough, he's going to send his fighter. He's going to just send his fighter squadron after you. So the guy was playing showed it. And he's like, every time he stepped into the area, a bunch of fighter jets would just show up and just start bombarding the area. So he's like, okay. Now I need to just stop this area because I'm not equipped to take those on because I don't have rocket launchers, I don't have anything, and then you can go somewhere else. He says because each area is kind of the of the family because it's one guy's family that
right.
He's the patriarch of it, controls each area. But he goes, you can, however you want to do it. Excuse me, the mic, because I'm very animated when it comes to talk.
I know.
But
it's just 2 people.
Is it just 2 people?
Oh well.
But everything else, like I said, just seems like it's Far Cry 4 better. The graphics looked great. Like I said, there's a lot more melee weapons. That was the other thing that he said he was talking about. The guy who was playing it there was a whole lot from IGN. It was a whole lot more satisfying to use a baseball bat and a pipe and sneak up behind people and just clock them in the back of the head instead of wasting ammo or silencers. He said, that was something. So instead of just the sneak attacks, like you can just use the melee weapons. So looking forward to Far Cry 5. So that can segue into what we're looking for into 2018.
Segue for the games that are coming out this year. So I was like, Far Cry 5 is one that we all had on our radar. Another game that I just looked up was A Way Out is getting ready to come out. You remember that one from E3? The prison escape game where it's like you have to play it co-op.
No, don't remember it.
So basically it's like your brothers that were in prison and you have to...
like Prison Break?
Yeah, basically it's like Prison Break. It's basically Prison Break the game. But you, the game is entirely co-op. It has to be played co-op. The game is always in split screen, so you always see what your other person is doing. And the one thing that came out said that if you buy one copy of the game, you can still give access to your friend to play. So like if you bought the game, Agent M could have access without having to buy the game.
Okay, so that's gotta be a must.
So, and that actually comes out March 23rd,
Ooh.
which is 4 days before Far Cry 5.
Is this on Xbox One?
Yes, it'll be on Xbox One, PC, PS4. It's an EA game. It looked really cool. I like the concept of it, and I like the idea of that you can buy the game and then
That's pretty awesome that you can just give to
give it to your access to your friend, whoever you want to do co-op with. There's Far Cry 5. We know about God of War is coming, which Chris has a.
I have feelings for it.
Oh, look.
I want it. I want to like it. I didn't own a PS4, but I want to like it. But as a fan of God of War 1, 2, and 3, huge fan. It's not God of War. It's not Greek. And the way God of War 3 ended, I'm like, I want a 4. I want to see it continue. That's not Kratos. That's not the character. So I'll tell you what. I will. You're gonna get it.
I am getting it.
So you need to tell me like what the story happens, because unless there's a really great segue into how we're going to go from Greeks to Norse mythology,
it's April 20th.
It seems
I will
like
have
people.
it. I will be streaming it on Mixer.
It seems like
Mixer.com/Annihilator method.
Hearing of that, like developers saying they're taking time to explain how that happened. How all of a sudden he has a son.
It's interesting though that they're just calling it God of War. Like it's not God of War 4. It's just God of War.
Agent M played this most recent out of everybody, and she'll be the first one to admit he's an asshole. Mark it on there.
51 minutes. Okay.
I mean, anybody who's played, he's not a hero.
Yeah.
He's the anti-hero.
So, I mean, in the trailers, he's not, like, nice or anything like when he's talking
But he
about
has a son. I'm like, it doesn't
Stuff happens.
But he's still... Again, again, this is my initial feels. But
got a lot to drink that night. That's how he has a son.
Well, it may be. Last time he had a son, he ended up, like, getting it burnt up, and he's now on his skin.
It's wearing him. Yeah.
Wearing him. I was like, daughter, and his wife. So... like I said, he's not a nice guy in the very least. But I'm gonna take my son out hunting. That just doesn't.
Yeah, it's interesting. The gameplay looks really great, but the idea as far as like how we got to where Kratos is in this point in the game, like they kind of had.
I'm having a hard time with that. I mean, if I was looking at the gameplay, which is probably what I'm sure that's what they were just trying to show off.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time getting it because it was not the gameplay; it was the story and the gameplay. It was a package deal.
Well, when the game comes out.
Yes.
I will message you and be like, hey, Chris, I am getting ready to start this from the very beginning. On Mixer.com/Annihilator.
But even if I don't, I was like, I'm going to trust you. Like, the next podcast after, it's like, you can tell me, is it...
Considering it'll be, like, not many people stream on PS4 games on Mixer, I found out. Hence trying to corner the market and get more followers. I got 2 random followers from playing Black Ops 3 the other day when I did. I don't get any followers from playing PUBG because it's the most popular game on the planet. Actually, Fortnite is now the most popular game on the planet.
Yeah, Fortnite's not. Yeah.
But
Fortnite, the other part of it is a lot. Well, if you think there's a game a la me, that's it.
Yeah.
After Agent M and I played last night and got off, I spent another hour and a half at my base doing what I do, which is take all my resources and build more traps and more walls and more defenses to overkill, which I'm sure I'm going to do, but... there's Thunderdome at my base.
So we have Detroit Beyond Human. Comes out in May.
I'll probably watch.
That is
play that.
Another PlayStation exclusive.
So I have a question.
It's made by the Heavy Rain people.
Heavy Rain. Is everybody going to get Borderlands 3 when it comes out?
Yes.
Is that a?
I kind of assumed I was going to be a Xbox.
I was going
to play with Chris thing.
I'm going to ask that if everybody gets it, if you're going to get it, please get it on Xbox.
I will have it on Xbox.
Request. Because
that game still has to be announced still, technically.
Yes, it does.
It's coming out.
Oh, it's coming.
But no, it hasn't officially been announced yet.
I really hope like this E3 there's a surprise,
but they've had so much time, and they've been a part of so many good things and so many bad things since then that I can't help but be excited for like what that could be. I'm trying to compare it to 2, but it's like it could be glorious. It really could be.
Oh, another game comes out this month, Sea of Thieves. Anybody
I'm interested
thoughts? Come
It
on.
I'll
looks
play it
good.
because it's on Game Pass. I'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna plan on paying $60.
Do you have Game Pass?
$10? I'll just
Yeah.
put on the card.
It is interesting that is one thing that Microsoft has announced that recently, that Game Pass, which is their $9.99 service with 100-something games around there, any first-party title will be released day and date on Game Pass. So Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3 will all be released day and date
Crackdown 3.
on Game Pass.
That one's another one I would.
Crackdown 3 is one that interested to see where that one comes from. But for Game Pass, that's an idea. I mean, if you're curious about Sea of Thieves, you pay $10, or you have. I mean, you get the first month free if you just sign up for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So you can just
So
try it.
that's
anyways.
actually what I'm saving up for, so I'm not gonna be paying anything.
So then we have. I talked about Detroit. Spider-Man also comes out this year. Those are I had those 3 PlayStation games pre-ordered. That's why I know about them. I mean, Insomniac's making it. I'm excited. I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes. You have State of Decay 2, which we said. Didn't you all play State of Decay?
I played the first one.
I
I
tried.
played
I didn't get very far.
like 8 hours of. I fell off. I like it.
It's going to be.
definitely-
This State of Decay 2 is supposed to be co-op though, so I think up to
really?
4-player co-op. So it's interesting. I like the idea of the game, and being co-op I think would be pretty interesting. Then Red Dead Redemption 2 got its release date announced on October 26th. So then every developer freaked out and
Yep.
panicked and went, well, we got to move our game
Mm.
because you get out of the way of a Rockstar game. And I thought it was pretty funny when somebody posted here's the executive offices of every other game. It was like SpongeBob, like running around with his
Yeah.
hands up in the air, like freaking out because they're like, okay, now what do we do?
Mhm.
And but Red Dead will have different multiplayer modes as well, and including supposedly they're making a battle royale game in Red Dead
'Cause why not?
because everyone else is doing a battle royale game, so why not?
Honestly, they did that for GTA 5. Did they
Yeah,
do a
I
battle
think they
royale
did.
mode?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you see the latest mode of H1Z1?
No.
Auto Royale. It's battle royale, but everyone's in cars.
So this is like a demo derby.
No, it's your passengers. Like you drive over stuff and pick up ammunition, pick up guns and ammo, and loot people and stuff along those lines. But it's all in the car, and so your other passengers, one drives, the other passengers use their machine guns or shotguns
I like that a
or
lot.
sniper
It's like
rifles.
Mad Max.
And then when you pick up stuff, it goes in the trunk, and then people in your group can be like, "Oh, I need bullets for my machine gun." They'll get it out of the trunk and add it to their inventory. I was watching Trout play it the other day.
Okay.
But they added it to their battle royale game, so they made Auto Royale.
That's pretty cool.
So there was that. Halo 6
Maybe.
should be this year. Technically, it's supposed to be this year if they stick to the
But they
3-year
haven't even
cycle.
teased it yet, though. That's the
But
thing.
I have a feeling they might do at E3 do the hey,
That
and
would
it
be-
comes out in September, and then just
But to
bomb
be
you
honest,
with
I hope.
ads.
I
The
just
story
hope
better be
they-
better than the 5th.
That's what I was about to say. They could take us if they would need another 2 more years. Go ahead, because that Halo 5.
They need to
was-
get rid of Locke. He sucks.
Well, he sucks, but the bigger story.
Also
was,
the fact
hey,
that you
here's
play-
your main character. One of your main characters.
Yeah.
That's going to be good, but we're going to make him the main bad guy in this freaking game.
Then they brought the
Well, the fact they were like, hey,
John's original.
there's
team
17
back.
missions in this game. You only get to play as the chief 3 times. What? No,
Well,
I want
what
to
if
play as
it-
the chief.
If Locke was actually good, maybe, but
Yeah, no, he's not good. He's terrible. So
The only saving grace was Nathan Fillion was in it, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed having him from playing Reach. It's like I enjoyed that part of it, and I liked like you guys said, it was like his original team coming back, and I was like, okay, and they were backing him up. I'm like, but 3 out of the 17 missions, that was it, and the whole point, like the main bad guy is one of the main good guys for the last 4 games.
spoiler if you haven't played Halo 5
Yes.
by now. So the bad guy is basically Cortana.
yeah.
But it's not basically, she is.
She is the bad guy.
She is the main bad guy.
And so now she's turning on the other Halo rings, which was the legendary edition of the thing, was her seeing her turn on the other Halo rings for Halo 6. But then they supposedly did hear about the feedback and stuff along those lines of people not liking playing Locke, and that we want to play as the chief. So,
That's Halo. I mean, there's
Yes.
that's Halo.
So, I mean, it came out in 2014 or 2015. When did it come out? 15.
Another spoiler alert.
So we're at
if you-
3
if you-
years. It would be 3
Yeah.
years this year of Halo for
If
Halo
you beat
6.
the game on Halo Wars 2, the end credit scene, additional scene is Anders, and she's on a Halo ring. It looks like a Halo ring, but one of the Guardians that Cortana's using pops up, and I had no idea what it was until I played Halo 5. And Agent M and I were like, we've seen that before.
That's cool that they tied it in with Halo Wars like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Halo should be this year, in theory.
What would be cool is if they kind of tied in the Halo Wars universe to the Halo universe.
Yeah.
Because all that's going on this side, and the Halo Wars universe has acknowledged Master Chief and that universe numerous times, but they've never acknowledged the other universe. So kind of seeing that bit right there, I was like, kind of like, would be nice if they somehow.
Hey, if Anders pops up and
It was all simulation. This didn't happen.
Yeah. The next Battlefield game is going to World War II, supposedly.
Ooh. I could be excited about that.
That
you don't
is
have Call of Duty World War II yet.
I do. I got it for Christmas. It
Really?
just hasn't made it out of the shrink wrap yet.
it's like it's still in the shrink wrap.
Really?
It's still in the shrink wrap.
Because Chris gave you that look. It's like, what the?
But yeah, supposedly
All this
Battlefield.
time I'm talking about it, you're just like.
But supposedly Battlefield 5 or whatever they're calling it is going to be the next. Is going to World War II.
I could totally get down with that because
I know you like Battlefield 1.
I played Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, played the beta for Hardline, and that was enough to tell me that game was trash.
Best one was Bad Company. I'm sorry.
I got into the Battlefield
Bad Company 2
franchise
is
after
supposed to
that.
gonna. I think there might be remastering that one, maybe.
But I
One
did
of the
play
best.
Why can't
Yeah.
that be the next Battlefield?
I did get Battlefield 1, and I loved it. It was really good.
I haven't
And
played the single player
both, the whole thing.
Really?
I liked the single player. I learned a lot about. I'm into history, but for whatever reason, World War One is kind of like a
Yes, everyone talks about World War II.
blank
You kind of
spot
forget about
in
World War
my
I.
knowledge. So I was, I really liked the history about it, and then gameplay wise, I think it was hands down the best one. It was the absolute
fun. least
least buggy one
Yeah,
Yes.
out of
Yeah.
Battlefield
it
3
actually
and
worked
Battlefield
at
4.
launch. That was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was lots
so
of fun.
supposedly the next Battlefield is this year, and it should be World War II.
If that's the case, then I might have to buy that.
Along with Call of Duty.
Call of
Treyarch.
Duty's Treyarch's. It's supposedly Black Ops 4 is what they're
Is
saying.
it? I was wondering if it was going to be Black Ops.
They said Black Ops 4. So it'd be interesting to see how they treat that one. Are we going back
Remember how you said that all that
Wall
wall
running
jumping
and jump
and
packs
everything?
and
Well,
stuff?
I've heard though that it is supposed to be Black Ops 4. This is from a guy at work. He reads all kinds of gamer information, news and stuff, and he said that it was supposed to be. He read that it was Black Ops Black Ops 4, and but it was going to like present day.
Okay.
So it wasn't going to be. There shouldn't be any future
Well,
robotic
Black Ops
stuff.
1 and Black Ops 2, there was a story connection that really made it for me. I mean, I enjoyed the game, but I also enjoyed the story. Black Ops 3 was no real connection.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was like
That's the last Call of Duty I actually played.
It absolutely just felt like, hey, we need something that grabs the name, and that's all they were going. It's like, hey, Black Ops was awesome. Black Ops 2 was awesome. We don't care what we do with this. It's going to be called Black Ops 3. I mean,
I didn't play the campaign. I just played the multiplayer. I put hundreds of hours in
really?
the
Black
campaign
Ops
for
3's
1.
multiplayer.
Did you play the campaign for 1 or 2?
I beat 1. It might be the last Call of Duty campaign I beat.
Well, the 2 was almost a direct sequel. Like, the story had everything to do with it. And again, to me, half the game is multiplayer, half the game is the campaign. And again, World War II had a good story, a beginning and kind of pretty much an end, but it was a good story. And the way Black Ops 1 ended, Black Ops 2 picked right up, and you were like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Speaking of nukes, when we were talking earlier, Bert,
Mm-hmm.
apparently Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is being remastered for 2019. So that'll be coming back.
Did they ever release the Modern
Standalone
Warfare 4?
Modern
I think they
Warfare
did,
4.
yeah.
They
is
released it
Modern-
by itself. You don't
by
have to do
itself.
that dumb.
But they made it for like $40. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's still
fuck.
expensive, because
I
I
don't
thought
know.
about getting it just for the
just do the campaign
nostalgia,
again. and stuff along those
nostalgia's
lines, and
sake, and
campaign
see if
stuff.
anybody else got it. It was like, just, again, nostalgia is
I
all I
couldn't
really wanted.
see spending $40. I was like,
But
$20?
$20 I
Sure.
would've.
But, and then Modern Warfare 2 is like, as much as I enjoyed playing that multiplayer when we did, it's eventually at some point when I figured out when you got grenade launcher and one-man army and you just
You were
spammed
tough, yeah.
danger close and you just started spamming grenade launchers down the hallway at airport, yeah, I put the game down. I did have like 50, I think I had close to 50 nukes when I was keeping count. That was fun. Had my fastest one, I got one within like 2 minutes. Actually, it might have been within the first minute. That was pretty fun. had Tony yelling at me to be like, "Can you please let us get some kills
Let's
first before
play."
you launch it?" And I was like, "Sure." So those are apparently rumored is coming, but this year, is there anything else?
I'm trying to think. I can't think.
Red
of
Dead,
anything.
Call of Duty, Battlefield. I'm sure some Assassin's Creed game will be announced, or maybe they'll skip a year. Watch Dogs will be due. Watch
Oh.
Dogs 3.
That's a thing.
Has anyone heard anything about a new Tomb Raider game?
Shadow of the Tomb Raider
That's right. That's
is
been-
supposedly rumored.
Okay.
I
I hadn't heard anything. I just thought we were about due for one.
They'll announce it at E3 this year.
Like last year, there was a guy that was working on something like a document on the subway, and someone was like, "Hey, that looks like the new Tomb Raider that might happen."
Yeah, he had like a PowerPoint presentation thing like up on his like laptop when he was on like a subway, and it said Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
And then when they released their press release like late last year, they were like, "Oh, we know you're excited about the game, blah 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 blah." But it's like if you capitalize like all of the like letters, it's spelled out Shadow, like a certain like phrasing and stuff along those lines, the way they wrote the sentences. So they're very clever about the idea that the game is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But that should be announced this year. Whether or not it'll be released this year will be interesting. They might follow the Bethesda model of, hey, it comes out this year.
I love that method, by the way. They did that
Yeah,
with
instead of
Fallout
letting-
4.
Yeah,
It was great.
instead of letting it milk and stuff along those lines. So, we've gone an hour. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Thought about?
I'm
Thinking
hoping
about?
the Duke controller comes out this month. Hopefully,
The Duke controller is supposed to come out this month.
Is that wired or wireless?
It is wired. It uses a
Use
micro
it for
USB
Rocket
cable.
League on PC.
It uses a micro
Oh.
micro USB cable. IGN, Ryan McCaffrey actually had the controller.
That's right. I did see that.
He posted a video of it booting up, and so you actually see the LED screen of it doing the old Xbox logo, and everything is pointed. It's supposed to be coming out this year or this month, and it's supposed to be a GameStop exclusive. Seamus Blackley, who created the Xbox, is the one behind it, so it'll at
It'll
least
be
work.
accurate.
It's going to be accurate and work correctly. So yeah, so there's that. Anything else you're thought of, think of, want to talk about? Tomb Raider, since we're speaking of Tomb Raider, the movie comes out this month.
Later 2 weeks.
Is it that soon?
Yeah, March 16th. Alicia Vikander is playing.
I don't really know
Lara.
anything about her, but my wife says she's pretty good. My
Oh,
wife
she's
likes
great.
her.
It looks like they're basing this movie off the reboot of the.
Oh, it's
game.
it's blatantly copying. It's like they basically took the
Which is cool, I
script from
guess.
the reboot of Tomb Raider, and that's what they're using. Which I loved that game, and the movie looks good, but I mean that's what trailers are meant to do.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if they get the feel of Lara correctly and stuff along those lines.
If
But
it's at least as good as Assassin's Creed was, I'll be thoroughly happy. I like the Assassin's Creed movie.
I like
I
parts
know-
of the Assassin's Creed
yeah.
movie. I got really annoyed by the fact of it being like, hey, here's the Animus again. And
Yes.
it's like, look, I get he's in the Animus. That was cool. He showed it the first time. The fourth time he's going into the Animus, you don't need to show me him in the machine anymore. I get it. He's in the machine.
Hyperkin Duke for Xbox One wired controller only at GameStop, $69.99. Comes out April 1st. Pre-order.
Oh, there you go.
April 1st. That's funny.
So
It'd be
We
funny
will
if
see.
I show up there and they're like, guess what? It's not a real thing. Like, coming across the counter.
That may not be a real thing, but I am.
well, Chris, no buying it. You got a birthday coming up. So just saying.
He's still looking at that website.
Yeah,
He's still
still
looking
looking
He
at
still
it.
wants to hit the button.
There's a
I
Like,
still
pre-order.
see it. I
There's a-
see it. It's like, it's what I remembered it to be.
So, anyways, anything else? No.
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. You can follow us on Twitter. I am VH_Annihilator. Andrew is Metalblade85. Bert is MudDauber24. And Chris is Hank Nova 316 or Ludacris 316 because
Take
he's
your
cool
pick.
enough to have two. I stream basically every night on Mixer, mixer.com/Annihilator Method. Sometimes when I convince Andrew to get on and do duos with PUBG with me, he'll stream on his
You
Twitch.
start streaming when I go to bed. Literally.
Well, that's that too. But I'm just saying, when you get on to do co-op stuff, when we play PUBG, you stream at twitch.tv
Oh, yeah. Hey, plug. Thanks.
Metalblade85. So that should be it. You can find her. If you're watching this, you're on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. That helps.
Smash that like button.
Give us a like. That'd be cool too. If you want to leave a comment, just let us know that you actually watched the thing. That would be cool.
I know. I like comments.
Because that's all I ask.
Know. Maybe.
Depends
on the comment.
Anyways, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Bye.